Hey, welcome. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
See, one of the things I did was I was being very deft with my hands, so we don't do product placement. But
yes,
you caught
I know.
me
I have the
drinking.
Coke
You
here
caught me
already.
drinking my favorite steep tea, and since they haven't given me a car, I'm not going to give them any free plugs. But am I doing a bad thing or a good thing?
Not too bad. I was first thought you had a coffee there, and I don't mind coffee. I drink coffee, but what we're talking about today is acidity and alkaline, and the coffee is very, very acidic.
Well, so is the tea. And I said that to you. One of the things I've discovered is sometimes running around like a lunatic, you're pumping the caffeine. I'm going to keep myself going. And then I start to notice, why am I drinking this stuff? Because it just doesn't taste good almost after a while because I know I'm feeling the acid.
Yeah, well, I'll go through maybe really quickly. I just want to show you the scale actually of alkaline and acid. Because, so it's in the theme of St. Paddy's Day.
Okay.
Greens are very, very alkaline.
Right.
So neutral is basically acid alkaline is a scale of 1 to 14.
Right.
Not everyone knows about it.
So why is the middle neutral?
So neutral is 7. That's just the alkaline acid scale. It's just basically
Gotcha.
the middle. And what most people don't necessarily know, but is your blood is what the major marker of alkalinity is, and it should be a little bit more neutral than what neutral is. It has to be a little bit more alkaline.
But my stomach is a little more than
But your
zero?
stomach is very acid, so that's a unique thing, which is a bit separate. We can mention your stomach is very acid.
But it has to be, doesn't it? Yeah.
It needs to be between 1 to 3 to digest foods, and some people don't have enough stomach acidity, which is where the apple cider vinegar comes in.
That's what I was going to ask you. Are we talking about reducing the acid or increasing the acid or getting the good acid?
Stomach acid you may need to increase, not everyone, but it is common as you age to reduce stomach acidity. So you would take something like an apple cider vinegar with water to increase the stomach acidity. But the rest of your body, particularly the blood, most of the other areas do really need to be alkaline. And there is a ton of physical symptoms, potential diseases, different ailments, energy, sluggishness, a lot of things that happen when your blood slips down over here into the acidity level.
You always come with a great plan, Nicole, when you come in here, and sometimes I try to take, I don't mean to, I take you off the tracks. But one of the things you got to deal with in the nutrition house, I'm sure, it's become a buzzword. Oh, I have acid reflux. Now, is that in some cases just a buzzword for selling some kind of acid absorption, and I can be dealing with it naturally?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I do think you can deal with it naturally. One of the things, actually, some acid reflux is often a lack of stomach acidity. It may be too much acid everywhere else in the body, but stomach acidity, sometimes when it's too low, you can actually have the acid reflux. Okay. So, but definitely calcium, magnesium are very neutralizing, and they do help to alkalize the body.
Cool.
So anyways, I really wanted to talk about some of the natural foods and things that you can do to alkalize your body, because what you may not know is that if your blood acidity level falls down to about 6, which isn't far from 7.4, if it falls just down to 6, you'd basically be in a coma. Like it's extremely important to maintain that alkaline level. There's a lot of different symptoms that
just
still
checking.
alive.
Okay. Yeah, so, the acidity is okay.
And guess what makes things? Guess what's acidic? Obviously pop.
Yeah.
Beer in light of
beer
St. Paddy's
is acidic.
Day.
I'm not a beer drinker, and I find that surprising.
Yeah, alcohol in general. Okay. Of course. Hamburgers, all sorts of processed foods, processed sugars, artificial chemicals, pesticides.
Are you going to get me eating and drinking packing material again?
I'm going to get you to drink. I'm going to get you to drink something very alkalizing, because a lot of people do have a lot of those foods and chemicals and things in your life and in your diet.
When I get it right, what am I going to notice right away?
Well, one of the first things is energy. Most people do really notice a lot more energy. And additionally, actually, your bone density. So that's one thing. I'm going to put this down just for a sec.
Well, anyone who's seen this show knows I can't get more dense. So hang on and get comfortable, because we're going to come back in just a little bit. Nicole Kernohan is here from Nutrition House. Guess what? Alkaline, it's just not for batteries anymore. We're going to come back. We're celebrating St. Paddy's Day. The wearing of the green, I got a funny feeling the drinking of the green, is coming up next with Nicole. Thanks for joining us. Only on Rogers, we're Inside Brant. The never-ending attempt to make me healthy. She just keeps giving it a try from Nutrition House. Nicole Kernohan is with us. Teach, the floor is yours. What are we talking about?
Excellent. So I was talking about the alkaline acid balance. And what happens when your blood gets acidic. So if you're eating a lot of those processed foods and chemicals, And sorry?
You told me 7.4 to 6.
No, actually, acidic is actually, when your acidity gets higher, it's a lower number on the scale, so that's confusing.
Sure.
But it's when you have more acid in your blood.
So what happens when that happens?
So what happens is your blood will do basically anything possible to alkalize, because you have to stay at 7.4.
Right.
Because as I mentioned, if you get too low or even too high, you basically get very sick or die, potentially.
Where is it robbing it from?
So it takes it from your bones, is usually the most common place, bones and teeth. It takes calcium, even some magnesium, other healthy, important minerals from your bones to help to neutralize and alkalize the blood. So therefore you start to see osteoporosis or osteopenia and other types of things.
Is this why it's called Vital Green?
Yes, it's vital. It's vital to add these greens into your life. If you have even just one incremental serving of greens or green juices in your day, you will substantially increase your blood alkalinity, which means you won't be leaching that calcium and whatnot.
Is that because we need more? Because we're not eating the cucumbers, the broccoli, and the whatever other thing.
Yeah, and you may be eating those things, which is great. But if you're also eating a lot of the other things, or even just the environmental toxins and things that can cause some acidity stress in our lives. So, so the greens, the broccoli, spinach, and cucumber are probably 3 of the most alkaline vegetables you could find on the planet. So I definitely like to incorporate those in.
Are they highly digestible?
I mean, if you do have a challenge, the broccoli is a sulfur-rich vegetable. It's a bit hard to digest for some. You might want to steam it first or just chew very well. But they're very, very absorbable. The Vital Greens is the alternative as well. If you're in a rush or you're on the go or you just want to add a whole bunch of greens in a liquid form. And this is what I want you to take a sip of today.
Let me try this today.
It's just basically like a tablespoon of this in a glass of water, substantially alkalizes and adds all the nutrients from the greens. Slight minty taste.
No, the funny thing is, it's almost got like a carbonation sort of thing. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, but it doesn't have too much of a taste.
No, not at all. Yeah, and guess what I gave up for Lent? The carbonated stuff.
Carbonated beverages.
I gave up carbonated beverages. I did. Okay. Yeah. See, you're working on me. Okay.
That's excellent.
Okay.
Well,
so what's the benefits of what I'm drinking here? Other than my tongue's going to be green.
No, the alkalinity. So it's going to help to reduce the likelihood of the leaking of calcium from your bones.
Okay.
As well as it's actually this particular one is actually a whole bunch of different types of vegetables, all in that 1 tablespoon of liquid. So you're going to get all the nutrients from those vegetables in there as well.
And it's got a minty taste.
And it does. Just so you know, because we were talking about the carbonated beverages, like the Coke, it takes actually 33 glasses of like a neutral distilled water to reduce the acidity of 1 can of Coke.
Oh, come on.
A Coke can actually be used very effectively, mind you, to clean your toilet, to clean the actual stains in your toilet rim. It's
if
very
nothing
acidic.
else, my pipes are cleaner.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's very important to reduce the acidity if you are going to be eating or drinking acidic foods.
I notice you're not going after the beer drinkers.
No, no. It's St. Patty's Day. What I would recommend is if you could have a glass of green juice like this, first thing in the morning, before your coffee, because the coffee is acidic, or before you have any alcoholic beverages, it's going to really reduce the acidity impact of those beverages.
I think we mentioned it, but before we let time slip away again. Okay, when am I going to notice if I'm having a problem?
Well, there's a lot of symptoms, but osteoporosis for sure, or osteopenia even. If you are noticing any kind of bone density, ridges in the nails, even hair and teeth, like there are different tissues that you might notice are kind of weaker.
Okay, but am I going to notice fatigue? Am I going to notice?
Yeah, fatigue is common. If your body's under a lot of stress, you might. Some people actually notice heavy breathing. So if you find at night you're sighing heavily, it's because there's probably not enough oxygen flowing through your body.
So if women hang up on me on the phone, it's probably because of the alcohol.
They're very acidic.
What's going on? Okay.
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. There's a lot of disease that can only live in an acidic environment. So you really don't want that.
It's not a one size fits all. If somebody wants to come see you, you'll find out what's going to work for them.
Yeah, there's lots of different options.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm green with envy. Thanks for coming in today. That's terrific.
Great.
Nicole Kernohan, the local female leprechaun from Nutrition House.